Hi, I'm Cico. How are you? Thank you for watching my video. And in today's video, I want to explain how I met my husband. And let's start from the beginning. As I said in another video, how I learned Japanese, I explained something about how I met my Japanese husband, but I think it was really short and maybe confusing, so I will try to explain again. Anyway, as many of you, I always loved Japan since I was a child, so I started to watch some anime. My favorite was and is still Inuyasha, and thanks to Inuyasha, the beautiful music, the beautiful culture, the beautiful drawing, I completely fell in love with Japan, and I wanted to learn more. I wanted to study Japanese, live in Japan, and I really want to live in Japan and make my dream come true. Yeah, it was difficult, but it was worth. And so, yeah, when I was 23, I went to Japan for the first time. It was my dream to visit Japan. I was always imagining in my mind me living in Japan, working in Japan, talk with Japanese people, and I think I in some way made this came true because I maybe activate the law of attraction, because when you think something, when you really want something, in some way the universe send you this. And so yeah, I went to Japan with my best friend. It was in 2016, and my friend, she also loved Japan. We are still best friend. I'm happy we shared this dream together. We just stayed in Tokyo for 2 weeks. We're so excited because we went to see the cherry blossom. We went to Shibuya, the famous place. I couldn't understand Japanese, and I don't even know how we order some food, but we did. And anyway, before coming to Japan, I forget to say, before coming to Japan, I wanted to make some Japanese friends, so I went to this website. I don't remember the name. It was like a place to meet a Japanese friend and partner online, and I wanted to meet some Japanese friend, female or male, it didn't matter. I just wanted to be friends with some Japanese people because I wanted to speak Japanese. Yeah, so I met this guy, and he sent me a message 2 weeks before my trip to Japan, and I'm so glad he did, because he is the reason why I met my husband. Because this guy, he was like, okay, when you arrive to Japan, we can, if you want, meet me, your friend, and I will bring my co-worker, my friend. And it was like, he's beautiful, but he can't speak I can speak English. I'm sorry, I will translate everything. And I was like, when the people in Italy, when they say I will bring my friend, he's or she's beautiful, they were never my type. So I was like, okay, I think he won't be my type. Just bring your friend, but me and my friend, we don't speak Japanese, so you need to translate. And he was like, I will. Okay, so we met this evening. They came to the place me and my friend were staying, and in the hotel in this hotel in Ikebukuro. They arrived and with the car, and this guy, this guy I met online, he stopped his car, and he was like, hi, nice to meet you, I'm blah blah blah. And I was like, okay. We hug, my friend also, they hug. And when I still remember, when I opened the door of the car, inside this car, there was my husband. He wasn't my husband at the time, but yeah. And I was like, I said maybe konbanwa, just something I could remember. I couldn't speak Japanese, but I could at least say, hello, hi, how are you? And I was like, oh damn, he's my type actually, because he was my type, yeah. And my friend also, she said, yeah, he's good looking, but I didn't have confidence. So for some reason I was sure in my mind, oh, this guy, I'm sure he will like my friend because she's cuter than me, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I was always like that, lacking of confidence. So anyway, we went to Shinjuku and we went to this restaurant. It was pretty late at night, and usually my husband, he liked to sleep really soon because he works a lot. But I'm so happy that night he decided to go outside, and we were talking, chatting, blah blah blah. He was kind of sleepy, I noticed. But anyway, for 1 second, I was feeling, I had this feeling, my husband was looking my friend. I was like, oh, damn, he's looking my friend, so he didn't like me. But when I looked at him, he was looking at me. And I was like, oh, wow, he's looking at me. So he likes me. And our eyes met, and I felt something in my stomach. I really never felt like this. And I was like, I think it was love at first sight. I really didn't believe this kind of thing, but this happened to me, and I'm really happy. And we are still talking about this. And then he started to touch my nose, because for some reason Japanese people, they like they call tall nose, because Japanese people maybe have this small nose, not my husband, but yeah, it was touching my nose. I was like, why are you touching my nose? And the guy said, no, he's actually he likes your nose actually, don't worry. And my friend, she was laughing because she thought he was making fun of me, but he didn't meant in that way. And then he started touching my hand. I was like shaking. Oh, okay. And then he wanted to know my Facebook and line, and so we exchanged everything, even if we couldn't communicate. And yeah, so then we went outside this restaurant. We walked at night. We had fun together, and he was touching my head, and because he wanted to say something, but I couldn't understand Japanese. So it was pretty embarrassing at first because we couldn't communicate for 6 months. Yeah, I think for 6 months. I think now we really start to communicate in a good way, because I can speak Japanese better compared to before, and we understand each other finally. But when I was in Japan for 2 weeks, I had to come back in Italy, Of course, we tried to date, but we couldn't communicate. So, okay, I don't want to say this. But when I went back in Italy, we continued to chat, and he called me sometimes, but I couldn't understand what he was saying, and it was frustrating because I wanted to express my feeling. I wanted to say so many things, and he also wanted to say. Sometimes he was sending me some Italian or English messages, but I think he used Google Translate, and I was like, what? What are you trying to say? I don't understand. But anyway, I start to study Japanese. Every stuff he sent me, I was translating everything. He sent me like, good morning, I'm going to work, now I'm coming back, now I'm eating, now I'm doing the laundry. So I start to understand some kanji, because he was sending me always. I think he did, so I could understand. And in some way, I think I was like, okay, I understand this. he's coming back home. And when I couldn't understand, I translate or I asked to the other friend. So I was like, when I wanted to say something and I couldn't, ask to this friend, and it was difficult. It was worth at the end, but I cry a lot for the long distance relationship, because I couldn't go to Japan every time. It was expensive, and I need to work in Italy to save up money to Japan, and for going to Japan. So we had this for 6 months, I think, long distance relationship. Then I go to Japan, and he said, you can stay to my place. So we started living together, and I have to say, it wasn't strange at all. It was like we were meant to be together. We had the many problem, like money problem, distance problem, communication, so many things. I could understand what he was saying to me, and sometimes I was misunderstanding. Oh, you want to break up with me? But he didn't want to break up with me. So he was speaking always in Japanese, and I was like, can you please repeat? I don't understand. But it was frustrating, but I think it helped me to understand Japanese. So yeah, we had this kind of communication problem. And I was like, okay, I want to marry you. And he was like, oh my god, it's too early. We need to save money. It's too early. And it was early actually, because I didn't really understand his real, personality. And the same was for me. But it was like, okay, I want us to stay with you. The only way to stay together is maybe to marry you so you can have the visa. But he was like, he told me recently actually, he was like, I like you, I wanted to stay with you, but I was afraid you, Chico, wanted to marry me only for the visa. And I was like, why were you thinking this? Of course I needed visa for staying in Japan, but I wanted to stay with you. That's why I asked you to marry me. And I know it was too early. We met in 2016, and we had this long distance relationship. So I think in total spent together living together 8 months or less, and then we get married. Yeah. So now finally we are living in Japan, and it's been 6 years. I think this year we can communicate. We don't have pretty much we are okay pretty much. We still have fight like many people have, but we are still together, and I'm happy. And especially with people who have international marriage relationship, distant relationship, I think they understand what I'm talking about. It's not easy, but the most important thing is love. If there is love, communication, trust, this is the most important thing. And I'm so happy to have met him. We improve a lot. We are working to make our communication better, and I'm not talking about Japanese, because it was a mess at first. He really couldn't open himself, so I had to broke this wall, and it was really, really hard. So if you are having like a distant relationship and there is love, and you think it's really his or she's really worth, I think you should do your best. And also not just you, also the other person. So if you are in a long distance relationship and you think you are the only one who's giving partner 100%, but he's or she's not giving you the same, I think you should rethink or talk about, because love is not just giving, it's also receiving. It's really a good thing fighting for someone, but you need to be sure the person wants the same. And I really, really hope your relationship will work. And okay, I think I explained everything. My head is hurting because I'm not used to speak English for a very long time. So I'm sorry if you didn't understand something, but just let me know if you are in the same situation. Just let me know if you want to know more about Japan and Japanese language and how to live in Japan. I hope you like this video, and I give you a big hug and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Jenny, bye bye.